Hello, Detroit. Hello, and happy Wednesday to you all. This is Aaliyah Moore. As always, I will not be on here too long, but remember, for those that follow my videos, I greatly appreciate you. For new people that's just starting to look, I appreciate you as well. But for the people that have been watching my videos for some time, speaking on Detroit Public Schools Community District, DPSCD, I showed this building and I showed it before. And the topic of that video was, look what money do. Once again, I'm just also showing you once again, look what money do. This building was pretty much built, will be opening soon. It's a plant. They tore down the old one, slapped this one up really fast, and it will be opening soon with employees, and that's that, which is a good thing for our property values and things. But it's the time in which they built it. This building was built, really, give or take a year. A little bit, maybe a little bit more, but not 2 years. I just left, had the privilege of being in a meeting today, Detroit Public Schools Community District, with the $1.27 billion that was sent by for COVID funding. Detroit needs to know, if you don't know, $700 million of that was put in facilities, which means I believe we're slated to get like 5 new schools, and renovations will be done to quite a few schools with the $700 million over the next 20 years. Sitting in this meeting today, initially, when facilities came over and let us know about the new building, when I say they, I'm talking about parents and community, even Dr. Nikolai Vitti, we were told that 2 years, the building will be complete. Today, we were told it takes a year to demolish properly. And then it will take up to 2 years to finish constructing. So we went from 2 years being away from the Paul Robeson area, which is formerly Halley. So that's Linwood and Grove area. So now it is expected to be 3 to 4 years. The money initially that was said to be used for the construction pretty much has been sliced in half to we're looking at about $48 million for Paul Robeson. But the kicker here today, people, because I got to tell you, Detroit, in exchange for a new building, right, for Paul Robeson, they are sending us to the former CMA, which is off of St. Mary's and Grand River, which is a little distance. But Paul Robeson Malcolm X Academy right now currently has a pre-K, right? We have 2 pre-K classes. We will not have pre-K going over to the former CMA. And the rationale is because the school, CMA, formerly, was originally a high school. So they're saying that the lavatory and maybe some of the accommodations, the district is saying that it's going to be too pricey. And, this is only supposed to be a temporary, place for us to be until our building is built. So we don't want to spend the money, or there is no money to spend to accommodate or revamp those pre-K classes for the lavatory, get smaller toilets, perhaps smaller sinks, perhaps maybe other accommodations. There's no money. And for people that don't know, when you're dealing with pre-K, those are federal dollars because they is federally funded. So the district does not want to spend, but they already supposedly have to spend some money for some, maintenance issues and repairs at the CMA, but they just don't want to put in the extra money for us to be able to keep our pre-K program intact. So, the ups and downs about what money does. But it all depends on the people. And that's what I was telling these teachers and staff members that were in this meeting today. We had a pre-K teacher. 11 years she's been in the building. She said it. I said it prior to the meeting. She's not trying to leave. She's not trying to go to a higher grade. She wants to stay with what? Pre-K. What she went to school for. What she got certified in. If anything, she said she wants to grow in the pre-K system. But she doesn't want to have to go to another school, let alone be in a position where she doesn't want to be in. So I'm in this staff meeting, and I tell fellow staff members, because the pre-K teacher did get the courage up to ask, will I be in this? Where do I fit in this space? Since there's no pre-K. And the Miss Jackson, which is over facilities, stated to her, we're going to probably try to keep you with the culture, but you won't be teaching pre-K because we won't have it over there. So I encourage the staff. Y'all need to come to this board meeting March the 19th at East English Village and speak your piece. Because Paul Robeson, for the most part, since I've been there, since I have my daughters there, it's a village mentality. So at this time, Paul Robeson Malcolm X Academy staff and teachers, y'all are the village for our pre-K teachers. 2 teachers. And so you figure, because one staff member said it on her way out the door because she was upset. She said, it seems like y'all trying to just cancel the culture. Hey, you could think what you want. You could say, oh, it's a new building. Y'all need to be grateful. But really, what comes with these new buildings? For one, we're getting placed in an environment that is far from our original location. For 2, you're not going to offer pre-K. So if I have multiple children, 9 times out of 10, I'll be fair. 8 times out of 10, I don't feel like traveling to 2 schools, dropping one off at pre-K, dropping the other ones back off at Paul Robeson. So I'm just going to take them all, right? So you got that to deal with on top of the sudden decrease of our budget to even make the building. Because the initial plans for Paul Robeson Malcolm X was to Thurgood Marshall, which people need to also know, is going to be, they don't want to call it closed. They call it, phase out. So ultimately, Thurgood Marshall will be phased out. But initially, we were told that those Thurgood Marshall children will be coming down to Paul Robeson. And that's how we had such a big budget for building. But now our budget went from, and I don't want to quote it because it was a different number than what I have in my mind. So I'll be quiet on the initial, estimate cost for the building. But now we have a budget of 48 million. And there's no conversation of Thurgood children coming with us. They are ultimately expected to go to Palmer Park, Bethune, wherever else. So if you're taking the pre-K, you're really eliminating growth because the district banks on the bulk of our newly enrolled children to be pre-K students, and that's district-wide. So if you take out the pre-K program, we're not going to gain new pre-K parents, because if you have your child at a school, especially if you like the school, they're going to stay. That's how I was raised. I went to the same elementary school from 1st to 6th. My daughter, same thing. And my other daughter, same thing. So, one staff member said that, oh no, here's Miss Jackson of facilities. Why would you think that? We're spending all this money. So why would we try to cancel the culture and try to tear you all down? They're not going to say it to you, Detroit. But actions, what? Speak louder than words, Detroit. Everything that's new ain't good. Like the saying, all money ain't good money. Everything that's new ain't good for us, Detroit. So I'm going to end this live, but I just wanted to get on with y'all this evening, let you know and show you again what money do, but also let you know that, the $700 million facilities plan, it ain't planning, y'all, because it's not planning if you had us in mind to give us a new school, but you didn't take in mind to locate us to a facility that would accommodate all our students. Not just the ones you fit deemed to be a part of the Paul Robeson Malcolm X family, but what we have right now. So for those schools that's deemed to get a new school, I believe Cody, if I'm not mistaken, Denby, I don't have the list with me, Detroit, but I'll come back to y'all on the 5 beyond Denby, I think Cody, and Paul Robeson, I think it's 2 more. But y'all got to watch these plans, and y'all got to watch this money that's being allocated versus where it actually is going. Because you can allocate all day, but where's the funding actually going? So, I'm seeing teachers' frustrations. I'm hearing frustrations. Ain't nothing gonna change, just like your fellow co-workers are telling you, until you stand. This meeting today is gonna be presented to parents next week. I'm telling them ahead of time, y'all need to tighten this up because it looks raggedy. And I'm a parent in here with staff, but this looks raggedy. So I'm just trying to pre-warn y'all for when these parents come. But like I said, hey, we got a couple of more months. And then August, we back at it. So like I've always said, and I'll continue to say it, decisions have to be made as far as career moves. If you staying, what you gonna do and how you gonna stay? You gonna stay in our district with a mentality of just give me my check so I can go, I'm fed up, I'm tired, but I'm gonna stay until I get my years in. You shut off your light a little bit, your creativity, because you drained. Are you gonna stay in this district, still trying your best to give it your all, but you feel beat down? Or you just about to leave? Like I said, it's categories to everything. But either way, all categories, you got to make a decision because the train is rolling. It's rolling. Now, it can be stopped. The route can be, changed. But it takes us to do it. I did a live before. We waiting on each other. Teachers waiting on parents. Parents waiting on teachers. Hey, it don't take 100% of anything. With this type of district, this type of school board, and this type of superintendent, if we get 10% of Detroit to consistently start putting their thinking caps on, but a lot of y'all got them on, but I'm saying outwardly showing it by asking questions, attending meetings and asking questions, sending emails, informing our fellow Detroiters and stakeholders about what's going on. If just 10% of Detroit did that from now to the end of the school year, a lot of things will crumble. Because just because they sit high in these positions, a lot of these people in central office, our superintendent, and our board are very weak. And they care about the public image. And they will do anything sometimes to protect that image and to also create the narrative for that image. So Detroit, I love y'all as always. This is what money will continue to do. But I just had to get on here today, check in with y'all, but mainly let you know that this $700 million plan ain't planning. Y'all have a good evening, Detroit.